When you were studying theology, you wanted to become a seminary, a priest?
I don't know. Not initially, no.
Okay.
After I thought about, because also those years I entered in a place to study Indian philosophy, and I studied Buddhism. No?
So you were under some congregation, Jesuit friend?
Yeah, I lived in a congregation for 2 years in France and then in Argentina.
Okay.
So during those years, I stopped my studies in Buenos Aires, and I went and I studied I went to France, and then I came back to Argentina. That took me like almost 3 years. No, it was a stop. But I was already very connected with Vipassana, which is a meditation technique from India, and Buddhism. So I started also studying with one guru.
In France? In
Argentina. Which created a kind of very strange situation also with my superiors, no? Because they didn't like it. But I was okay with it, no? And actually, but then I left the monastery and I came back to Buenos Aires, and I continued my studies. And I created with some other young people one community in which we were practicing meditation and yoga, and connected with Christian religion. No?
Which year is this now?
This is 2003 to 2006.
So before that, you were all busy with your studies and
I did it also. I did
music.
it during my studies, actually.
Okay.
No? So we created a community, and we went all to live together in a very big house. No? So this was since I was 18 till I was 27. Those 9-10 years I was in France, but mainly in Buenos Aires. I did my degrees in philosophy, theology, and orchestra conduction. And I did my studies in Buddhism also. And I started working as a musician. No? I used to teach meditation and yoga. No? I have some groups where I was teaching meditation and yoga. Which also, when I get really into music, working as conductor and professor, I left. So I practice for myself, but not teaching anymore.
So all these influences from your mom's side, I mean,
yeah,
or it's your own exploration?
Yeah, I think she opened a door, but she didn't. Actually, she didn't went very far. No,
so she didn't teach you all this?
No. She never practices yoga and meditation. It was. I think she realized that something was there. That's why she used to send me, but actually she was not really. I was going much more than her to practice all these things. No? Even when I was young. No, I mean, I used to go maybe 2 or 3 times a week, but she was going maybe 1 or twice a month. No? But she considered that was important for my education. But I have other 5 brothers and sisters. No, we are 6. So some of them also joined that, no? Okay. But none of them follow much. I am the only one that really got into it.
So your family is still based in Argentina?
No, they some of them are in UK, some of them are in Spain.
So no one is in Argentina?
One sister is in Argentina. Okay. The others are in Spain, different parts of Spain, and UK. In London. So. And after those years, that was 2007, I was already working in collaboration with some universities in Buenos Aires, as assistant professor, and teaching, and composing music, and working in different things. And then I got a proposal, and I left Buenos Aires, and I went to live in the border of the Amazonas rainforest in Bolivia, bordered with Brazil, and I worked there for 3 years. In some very small towns, in some indigenous villages, which I worked doing some research on colonial music, so the music from the period of the colonialism, 16th, 17th century, in 18th century also, in South America. So these villages were Jesuit villages from the period when the Jesuits were in the Amazonas, in the border between Bolivia and Brazil.
Since the 18th century?
Yes. Yeah, so but then they left. This place is called Chiquitos. no?
Small, okay.
Chiquitos, small people.
Small people.
No, chiquitos. So the interesting thing with this place is that when the Jesuits left, they were expulsed from South America. These villages were in the middle of nowhere, actually. No? So nobody came to took those. No, they just let them be. No, so the indigenous, they kept that culture for 200 years by themselves. No, so they kept all the music, they kept all the instruments, they kept on doing what they were doing with the Jesuits. No, obviously it get kind of transformed and changed little by little. No, but all the other Jesuit missions, they got transformed into cities, big cities. No, like now the capital cities of South America, most of them were started by, or many of them were started by the Jesuits. No, like villages. Then they were growing and growing, and they are cities. No, but these ones particularly, they are particularly interesting because nobody took over them. No, and the indigenous were quite difficult to rule. So they try and they say this is too difficult, no? They just let them be. There was no gold, no silver, nothing much interesting, no? But the culture was interesting. No? So, so I worked there. I had a contract with one program from Venezuela. No? Venezuela is a country that on the last 20 years they created an education system for music, which is very famous around the world, which is called El Sistema. No? And it's the biggest music education system nowadays in the world. No? Venezuela is not in a very good moment nowadays, but they created this, which has been replied in everywhere, in Africa, in South America, in Asia, everywhere. No? They have created a new way of teaching music, no? and a new way to approach children, no? And underprivileged children. No? So this program I worked with, it was with indigenous children, and to create orchestras and choirs, no, and to compose music, and to restore the old colonial culture. No? For them, it was not something that they needed to throw away. No, the colonial period for them is something that they feel proud of. Yeah, no. Because before that, the indigenous groups were very small, not just nomad groups. It was not much happening. Not like other parts of Asia, of America, like when Incas or Aztecas or the Mayas, they have been spoiled and they destroyed a culture that was very big. But these ones, the Chiquitos, it was a very simple culture, no? So the Jesuits, they brought a lot of knowledge, no? And also they interact with them to create a new culture, no? Which is called we call that the Barroco Chiquitano. No, the Chiquitan Baroque, no? Which is a particular style of Baroque, combining their own beliefs with the Baroque beliefs. No? So I worked there 3 years. It was an amazing experience. Very difficult also because living in a small village in the middle of nowhere, but there's no electricity sometimes, or no water, or no food, or blah blah. It's a complicated thing.
I understand.
But I enjoyed it very much. And then working there...
Sorry to interrupt. You spent like how many years? 3 years?
3 years. There.
3 years out there?
Yeah, almost 3 years. No, flying up and down. No, but my house was basically there. No, but I was also doing collaboration with some projects in Caracas, in Venezuela, in Peru, in Cusco, no, in Brazil, Paraguay. No, so it's a big net. I was based in Bolivia, but working also teaching and doing some projects, research projects in other places. And I also had the possibility to develop my skills as conductor, no? Because there I had a big access to orchestras and choirs, no? For a conductor, orchestra conductor is quite difficult to have experience because nobody gives you an orchestra to practice. No? Orchestras is a professional thing. It's like if you want to become a pilot no, for airplanes, nobody will give you a plane to practice. No? I mean, you can practice with a simulation, no? But not a real one. No? You only get access a few times, no? And then when you are ready to, you have to jump into it and you have no experience. No? But this project gave me the possibility to work with young orchestras for a long period.